So here we are, getting in line for the Jay and Jack panel, and we're all the way back here. I don't know if we're going to get into the Jay and Jack panel. I'm a little bit worried. Lost podcast with Jay and Jack? Yeah, right here.
Hey, Mr. Hogan. Hey.
So, all right. So who's here to see Jay and Jack? There you go. See?
Come on, Ralph, you can do it.
All right. Ralph is the moderator. And Ralph from the Dharmalars podcast. Give a round of applause for Ralph. Benjamin Johnson.
Stand up, Ben.
All right, so we kind of were just going to go with a Q&A session kind of thing because there's a couple questions or question that a lot of people wanted to ask.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, the beginning.
Jay and Jack. You guys started your podcast October 2005, correct?
See, yes.
How did that get going? Because you guys don't seem like you're
Cool
normal
people that would do podcasts?
Yeah, you don't look like the normal type of podcast duo.
Well, originally, when I first found out about podcasting, I was like, it would be sweet if we could do a podcast. And I actually just want to do a podcast, just Jack as the host, because Jack's a grumpy old man and he likes to complain about everything.
Once in a while.
So I was like, it's going to be called Jack's Soapbox, and he can just complain about stuff. It'd be great. But he thought I was a nerd and didn't want to do it. But then...
Well, I didn't know what a podcast was.
Yeah, I was trying to explain it, but it was tough. So then we got into Lost, and I thought, hey, that'd be sweet to have a Lost podcast. I searched, couldn't find any. And then me and Jack would talk about Lost a lot anyway, theorize and stuff. So I was like, hey, it'd be cool to do a podcast where we just talk
You
about
never
theories.
did a series.
I have plenty of theories. And so then I asked him, you want to do a Lost podcast? He's like, yeah, it's a great idea. And spent a week trying to figure out how to do it. By the time we did, there was like about 5 other Lost podcasts, Transmission, who else? Lost Cast. Scott and Steve, I came a week after us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it happened, the origins of the Jay and Jack podcast.
And that first one was a great one.
Most definitely. All right. That was how I started.
That was the beginning.
Yes.
Now, you said, Jack, that you didn't know what a podcast was.
No idea.
Now you are part of 3 podcasts.
Yep.
What do you think of podcasting now and what it's done for, let's just say, your ego?
I'm not the one with the ego. That would be the guy to my left. No, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I know Jay and I have a great time. We do. We have a blast. The other one we're doing is more of an adult one.
Yes.
We're doing a Married Man podcast. And it's not
Is the Married Man podcast blogspot.com?
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's more of an adult podcast. It's not for everyone.
It's pretty funny though.
Yeah, but I would have to say the Ramblecast, I enjoy that more than the other two.
What?
Just because there's no work.
Why?
We just put a mic and just start talking. It's a lot easier. There's no the pressure to have to when you watch an episode. Because people always say, I'd love to watch an episode with you guys, and I said, no, you wouldn't, because you can't talk, you can't say anything. You have to.
Yeah, we're kind of jerks when we're watching this. How many people here they turn off all the lights and then nobody can talk? You have to be like totally meditating and absorbing as best you can. All right, so.
Get a lot of pauses on the TiVo and angry looks shooting around the
Yes.
room.
Well, we actually like the commercials because that gives us
Time to take
write
notes, so we don't really complain about the commercials, but yeah, we're pretty intense. In fact, Mrs. Glatfelter over there, back in the corner, she used to love Lost.
Now she
She hates it now because we're jerks when we're watching Lost. Like, quiet!
Well, we can't.
What number was that on the door?
Yeah.
That would have been 23.
That has to mean something. Well, if we miss something, we take a lot of heat, so we have to make sure that we.
And it's usually Jack that misses something. So.
That's true. Well, the time we didn't know about the 5th or 6th podcast, we didn't know that Marvin Candle's arm moved. Or did
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
And I didn't know until you guys mentioned it.
That was a nightmare. The nasty emails we got.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
think we got a bad review on iTunes about that too.
Actually, I think my favorite thing that we messed up on was Gabrielle, and we thought she was French.
The
She
French
spoke
speaking
French.
Italian.
Yeah. That's a good one. But it's always tough when you're watching the show because we're just watching it. We don't know anything more than, anybody else watching it. So we're really just kind of hoping that we get the right information.
Right.
But yeah.
That's why we like to do the second one on listener feedback one on Monday's podcast, because we get a little more time to watch it.
Gives us more time to make sure we didn't screw up anything too. All right, Ralph, next question.
All right.
You're doing good, Ralph. Keep it up.
Does anyone in the audience want to ask Jay and Jack a question?
Do you want to?
We can't do this.
If you want to.
Well, let Ralph do a couple more, and then we'll open up the Q&A. Do you have one more question?
I don't know, Cliff kind of saved me for a second there.
I just want to put you on the spot one more time.
Let's see here. There's one big question, but I might have a member of the audience ask that one.
What question is that?
No, I'm not gonna ask it.
Who's truly better, Jay or Jack?
Oh, we already know that.
Me, of course, right? It's Cliff, actually. It's
People love Cliff. I don't know why. I can't figure it
I
out.
don't know why people love me either.
All right, so does anybody out there have any questions? This is a Q&A, question about podcasts, about the Lost community, or anything
How we
like
produce
that?
the podcast.
Any of those kind of things. How about you, sir?